Alright, so here we are in the zoomed in view for Ivogo's Dimitri clone. This is the Midnight Edition. I think that's why there's this black dot in the corner of the box. But as you can see, this is Dimitri Ivogo.com, or Ivogo logo right there. Dimitri Ivogo, and then you have their website and their code. So you open it up, and inside, besides the Dimitri clone, that's nothing else really. That's it. So you can see serial number on one side, 1279 is mine. Then you have your Dimitri logo, which is, the engraving's pretty deep, and it looks to be, it's a gold-plated logo panel from what the website says, and pretty much it's pretty plain. Underneath, Vaping Kiko, you've got two venting holes and your silver-plated copper negative screws, or negative contacts, so you have to unscrew it, but I'll show you that in a bit. On the top, you have your floating 510 copper pin, and supposedly all the copper in this is 99.9% copper, so that should be pretty good as far as conductivity goes. Right now, this button is locked. Unlock it, just turn it, and it works pretty well, but I'll talk about that in a bit. It's a brass, it looks to be a brass button, seems to respond very well. So open it up, it is magnets, 1, 2, 3, and the corresponding 1, 2, 3 on your bottom. Inside, looks like you get another top, which is kind of cool. Not too sure what those holes are. I think they may be for venting, but again, it is copper. It's supposed to be 99.9% pure copper, so it's always a plus. And you have your inside. Machining looks pretty good. I mean, I have no issues with it. You can see it's really smooth as far as paint or machining. Everything kind of fits together pretty nicely. You can see your copper positive pins, or positive screws, and then your negative silver plated copper screws. So this part actually comes off. You can see, I believe that's Delrin right there. I believe that's brass, and then a copper screw right there. Again, copper, copper, brass connection, and that's basically how your switch would work. You can see that. If you needed to replace or take out for cleaning or what have you, you'd have to loosen this nut right there. I'm not going to do that for you guys, unfortunately, but yeah, I just got this. So I'm just going to leave it at that, but that's pretty much it. Pop it back together. I mean, there's slots. It is a bit finicky to get in there, but you know, you just have to align it correctly, and there it goes. Again, I'm not too sure what this plastic is made of, or if it's plastic or Delrin. That seems to hold up okay. It's right there. Just push it in. Slight, you know, there's slight looseness over here in the corners. It's not quite as flush, but I don't think that'll affect performance. In fact, I mean, a little bit of venting doesn't really hurt. So it's not really clearly marked where the negative and positives are, but know that the copper is a positive and silver is a negative. And make sure you're using paired batteries, guys, but pretty much pop it in. And in order to keep it in place, let's just screw the bottom. It's a flathead screwdriver. You don't have to crank it in there, just kind of make sure you're making contact. And that's that. And the door, like I said, there's no slots. As you can see, it just fits in there. You just slide it in or drop it in. Magnets seem to work pretty well. You don't hear any shaking or anything like that. That's always a plus. Just as a size comparison, if you wanted to see, this is an IPv2 or IPv2. Roughly, it's a little bit taller, definitely wider, not by much. Nothing crazy. I mean, this is Sigreen's ABS mod. You can see that's definitely bigger. About the slightly thicker as well. But I mean, it's nothing. You know, still pretty comfortable in hand. And most atomizers seem to fit on it for me. But yeah, that is the Dimitri clone from Ivogo up close. We'll go out to the other view and I'll vape it and I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. So stick around. What's going on, Vape Nation? Job 131 Vapes is back, and that was a zoomed in view for Ivogo's Dimitri Midnight Edition Box Mod clone. What I like about this, number one, is I definitely like the look, the flat black or the black with the gold plated logo. It's just a nice, simple, sleek look. Secondly, I like the weight of this. It's pretty heavy. Surprisingly, I didn't think it'd be this heavy, but it definitely feels like quality. Okay. Third, obviously the build quality of this, I was actually surprised. It's very nice. Magnets slap into place. There's no shaking or anything like that. You don't hear any rattle. Everything seems to fit together nicely. Button is pretty good. I like it, surprisingly, even though for me it's a little bit awkward having it right here. But it still fires every time, right? I've had no issues with it. And this thing definitely hits hard. Probably because of that 99.9% copper, but whatever. Now, what I don't like about this, and again, it's a couple minor things that people may find, you know, they can live with. I can live with it too. Number one, the locking mechanism for the button. It's a bit weird, a bit awkward. Sometimes I find myself turning a little bit more. And it just kind of moves. But generally it works most of the time, or works okay. Secondly, the way you have to put or lock your batteries into place using the screwdriver, even though those are silver-plated copper connections, it's still a little bit strange that you have to actually use a screwdriver and tighten it up. So I think that's definitely a negative. But overall, would I buy this? Yeah, I bought it. I picked this up for $51 from my buddy Kamuri101 on whackedoutesig.ca, or check their website, KamuriVapes.com. Yeah, definitely worth the money. I vape. It's hard. Build quality is actually surprising. The look of it definitely is nice. So, yeah, thumbs up. I definitely picked this up. And yeah, if you guys are looking for a box mod, definitely a cheap box mod clone, definitely consider the Dimitri clone from Ivogo, just because it's pretty solid, I think. So, other than that, this is Job 131 Vape saying, keep your wicks wet, keep your wicks wet, and thanks for watching.